You guys, why did I almost fall down? Oh my goodness. That was terrible. Where's my book? All right, here we go. Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Worthy Wednesday. Y'all, it's Worthy Wednesday today, and I am thankful. I'm a little bit tired, but I am thankful to be here on this Worthy Wednesday. This month, I told you, worthy women, that we are going to spend the entire month talking about time because I do believe it is something that we need to discuss. And it's also something I believe that we need to pay attention to because once time has gone or once the time has come, you never get that moment again. And I think it's time for all of us to really understand why time is so important and why we need to value time. Not only do we need to value it, but we need to cherish it, we need to honor it, and then we need to do exactly what we're supposed to do with our time. So welcome to Worthy Wednesday. Today is June the 9th. Can y'all believe this is the second Wednesday in June? I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. Also, I can't believe that my daughter is a sophomore. I'm done with that. I digress. So welcome to Worthy Wednesday. I'm happy to see all of you here. 2021 is the year of me, and we have spent most of our year talking about me. Isn't it great? I've been talking about me and not y'all. And I also have taken some little caveats depending on how I believe that I'm being led. And we've talked about other things. We talked about, to be honest, we talked about accountability. And this month we are going to talk about time. But time does relate to me, and it also relates to you. So I want to talk about that. So let me just give you a recap right quick from last week, and then we're going to jump right in. So last week we talked about time, that there are 1,440 minutes in a day. Now, at first I thought there'd be a lot more minutes in the day, but then I realized, what am I saying? 1,440 minutes. That's a lot of minutes in the day. That's 86,400 seconds in a day. And I really lately have been examining, what am I doing with that time? Even when I'm at work, I am still trying to determine whether or not I'm using time to the best of my ability. Not to do what I'm supposed to do at work, but am I using it? Am I using those opportunities that I have at work to explain to someone the importance of time? So we talked about that. We also gave the definition. There's 7 of them, but the one that we focused on was the measured or measurable period during which an action, a process, or a condition exists or it continues. So time continues, and that is one thing we worthy women know, that time does continue. And then I read to you a scripture, Ecclesiastes 3:1, just because I believe that it so accurately depicts what time is. It says, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven." And I just thought about it all last week and all this week, that for everything in your life, there is a season and a time. There's a time for you to go to college. There's a time for you to go to graduate school. There's a time for you to become a mother. These times and seasons are ordained. Like, they literally have been set from the foundation of the earth. And so the thing that I really want us to focus on with time is determining whether or not we are honoring the time that we have been given, and if we are doing what we should be doing with that time. So I thought about how we could analyze time in relationship to our lives personally. So tonight I want to talk about the past. Okay, I feel like I'll probably talk about this next week too, because there's so many things I wanted to share. But I want to start with the past because, number one, I know this is not something that I assume. I know for a fact that all of us live in our past from time to time. No pun intended. All of us make decisions to allow something that happened to us, whether I was 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, and on. And I have allowed the thing that happened to me in times past to dictate how I live in the present time. Now, y'all, listen to me. I'm going to talk about me in this particular scenario because I have learned in my life that the best person to talk about during the year of 2021 is me. So if this relates to you, you don't even have to make any comments. You can just say, I'm so glad Karee's talking about herself. But tonight I wanted to talk about the past because I believe as women, that is an area, not y'all, but that is an area where I have struggled when I have fought with myself saying, I should have already accomplished that. I should already have this much money in the bank. I should have already put this much money aside for my daughter. I should already have paid off a house by now. I should already be working for myself and be a millionaire. I think what I have experienced, and if you know, you can say you've had this experience too, that the past is good when we're looking at it to learn a lesson. But the past is not so good when we're looking at it to live in the present. And I am telling you, worthy women, that I literally have been struggling with decisions I thought I made or choices I thought I made, and wondering in my present life, have I wasted time? And not at any moment did I ever get the inkling that all this time presently that I'm wasting thinking about what happened to me in the past, I'm losing the time that I have right now. Y'all, let me tell you something right now. I want you to know that time is by far the best gift that we have been given by Almighty God. But I can tell you, we do the greatest disservice to our time. So here we go. Time. So past in the dictionary can be used as an adjective, a noun. It can be used as a verb. It can be used as a preposition. But I want to talk about this. So when past in reference to time is an adjective, it describes the time. Okay. So past is like ago, like when we say a long, long time ago. That's what we say every time when we start telling the story. Once upon a time in a land far away, many, many years ago. Okay. We got it. Okay. It also means that it has just gone or elapsed. Okay, so if the timer goes off, that means you need to take whatever you're cooking out the oven. Okay, it also means having existed or taken place in a period before your present. Worthy women, I want to tell you tonight, this month that we are talking about time, I am telling you that many of us, okay, have wasted our present, living stuck in our past because we are always thinking about something that has taken place before, and therefore we are not living in the present. Now, I want y'all, listen, I want y'all to know that I literally slap myself because I am a thinker. I literally live inside my brain 24 hours a day. If I am struggling, and we also know that to be cognitive dissonance, if I am experiencing cognitive dissonance with something, I am extremely quiet. I will talk to myself all the time. I may talk to the Lord because sometimes I'm upset and I don't really say too many things, but I am constantly living in my thoughts about what has led me to this present moment. And I'm telling you, 9.9999 times out of 10, I jump to something that happened in my past, something that existed before I got to this present moment. I have allowed that time in the past to dictate how I am currently living in my present. Now, hold on just a second. Okay, so I was like, creek. That doesn't really matter because obviously what you didn't know then, you do know now because the past informs the present. And then I said to myself, girl, shut the front door, because if that's the truth, if I rode my bike and skid my knee, does that mean I need to always ride my bike and skid my knee? No. So I debunked that myth tonight. Let me tell you something, worthy women. If something happened to you in your past, you don't need to repeat it in the present to know whether or not it hurt you then. See, this is what I don't understand. This is what we do in relationships. And I'm not necessarily talking about relationships that you have with a significant other. I'm talking about linear relationships, friendships that you make with your girlfriends, with coworkers, with people that you know in your life. If someone in a past time decides that it's appropriate to talk about you, and in the present, that person reappears in the form of somebody else, you don't need to repeat that lesson in order to know you don't need to hang out with that person. But I'm wondering why, and here's the thing, I'm just talking about me, so it's totally fine. I wonder why I think my past time cannot teach me something presently without me having to relive it. Because see, what we say is, oh my God, she's always living in the past. Oh my God, she always talks about what was. Oh my God, she always talks about what she could have been. Oh my God, she always talks about what she should be doing. But here's the reality. If you don't know that you still have time to do what you shoulda, coulda, woulda, you're only gonna live in the shoulda, coulda, would. I mean, I'm not talking about y'all. I mean, I'm just talking about me. You know how you go to your high school reunion, you see people say, oh my gosh, she's still doing that? Oh my God, they're still together? Because we think what was in the past time is the only place to live because we're too busy trying to relive what we did past time and not in the present time. So if something has existed or taken place before the present, why are we still talking about it? It's over. Yeah, y'all, it's over. If I stubbed my toe yesterday, why am I still talking about it today? If my toe still hurts, it's okay. But I don't have to walk around saying, you guys, I stubbed my toe. Did you know last Tuesday I stubbed my toe? Did you know a week ago, Monday, I stubbed my toe? Did you know 3 weeks ago, tomorrow, I stubbed my toe? First of all, I would just say, Karee, is everything okay? Because it seems to me you don't know anything else about your life except what happened to you in the past. Funny how that dictates how I live in the future if I was abused. And I hope you understand where the abuse is not okay, period, the end. But if I were abused, am I going to live the rest of my life being abused when the abuser is not doing it anymore? But in my mind, I can only live in the past because I refuse to acknowledge that something that happened to me then is not what's happening to me right now. See, I'm talking about time-worthy women because our time on the earth is short and it's destined. But we, not you, but me, I have wasted time complaining, crying, being angry, cursing. Oh yeah. I've said a few bad words in my day over something that happened to me in my past. It happened before the present, see, because it was yesterday. So today is the present, but I'm still living in yesterday, negating today. So I wonder why sometimes I even feel frustrated with myself because I'm constantly giving life to something that should be dead. I wonder, I really feel like it's totally just me that does this, that I literally have spent years complaining and weeping and yelling and stomping and kicking about something that happened a long, long time ago. But I didn't decide because, see, my belief system wouldn't allow me to decide to live in the present. Because I'm too busy complaining, not just to you, but to anybody who will listen about what happened to me. And nobody seems to care about that. But see, I can't even focus on the good that's presently happening because I only see my past time. Anyway, it's just me that does those things. So now when the past is defined as a noun, it talks about time, which this is what really gets me. When I know I'm doing the lesson, that's exactly where I know we're supposed to be. It says that past as a noun is time gone by. Y'all, okay, let's see what time it is right now. So it's 6:14. 14 minutes have already gone by since I've been doing Worthy Women Live tonight. 14 minutes have already gone by. I wonder why we don't understand that time still goes, even if we're complaining. I wonder why we don't understand that time continues, even if I'm standing still. Do you know that you could go to work and stand still, do nothing all day, and you'd still be at work? Do you know that people would walk right past you and not say anything, and they can just watch you stand there and waste time? But you do know that time goes. That's action. That's active. That's present. It goes by. When we hang up, 30 minutes or so will have gone by of your life, of my life, of everyone that you know. 30 minutes or so will have gone by, but we continue to live in a time that once was, but we don't even have that time anymore. Worthy women, this is what gets me. How do we not recognize that we can't go back and change any? I can't change any of that. If I was bossy, okay, I'm still bossy. But if I was bossy when I was younger, I can't go back and go find all those people in first to fifth grade and apologize to them. Number one, I ain't got time for that. Number two, I like being bossy. But why would I live in a state and allowing time to keep going by me, wondering about whether or not I should have been bossy? Here's the reality, Cree. You were. Move on. Get over it. Keep going, because time goes by. Okay, so the second part of the definition says that past time is past life. It's past history. Stop right there. We celebrate Black History. Juneteenth will probably be a national holiday. It will be epic. We celebrate the emancipation of Black people for real.com on June 19th. We celebrate the freedom of our nation. We celebrate the Constitution of the United States. We celebrate mothers. We celebrate fathers. We celebrate history. Okay, so let me tell you how you get to history. Time goes by. How do you celebrate the history of your life? Well, you celebrate it every year on your birthday. Because people say now, this is my 36th trip around the sun, or this is my 10th trip, or my 16th trip, or my 20th trip around the sun. See, I can only talk about the history of my life after time goes by. I can't talk about what I did at 35 if I'm still 35. I can only talk about what I did at 35 when I turn 36. That means my 35th year has already gone by. But it says it is a past life. Let me stop right there let me just do a sidebar. So many of us, okay, maybe not y'all, me. Sometimes I wish I had a different life. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I wish that I would make different choices. Sometimes I wish I wouldn't always be confrontational. Sometimes I wish I didn't always want to have an opinion. Sometimes I wish I could just let stuff slide and not say anything. Sometimes I wish I could just be a little bit more accepting of people being mediocre or mean or, whack. But I'm not. Worthy women, that's just not who I am. That's just not who I am at all. But I find myself in the study of time that there are moments that I wish in my past life that I could have been somebody else. Have y'all ever done that? Have you ever wanted to be somebody else? Did you ever want somebody else's outfit? Did you ever want somebody else's car, somebody else's house, somebody else's job, somebody else's man? I mean, let me just keep it 100. Sometimes that's what women do. You think, oh, well, if I had that would be better than this that I have right now. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, I digress. I have thought to myself, my past life is better than my present life. But how in the world, worthy women? I literally thought to myself, Cree, how is that even possible? How do you say to yourself, I wish what I had is better than what I have right now? What? Excuse me. Excuse me. There are some things I don't want to relive in my past. Certain fashion choices, I don't want to relive those anymore. There are certain things that I experience. I can tell you right now, I don't want to experience those anymore. But when I am talking about time, it just bamboozles me that we would rather live in a life that we didn't have any control of. Y'all, there's certain things that I did at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I didn't have any responsibility, so I didn't care. But when you get responsibility, you start valuing your life. You start valuing your choices. You start valuing your relationships. So how would I look now at 40 something? Acting the way that I acted at 16. Well, oh wait, maybe there are people that do that. Anyway, but how would I look if I decided my past life was the guidebook that I should use for my present life? Wait, I want to help someone right quick. Some of us are doing that. Some of us are living our past life in our mind and executing it in our present life. So if that's you, I want you to stop that immediately, Not because I'm telling you, but because you haven't even seen your present life because you think you'll never have a better life than the life you had. You'll never have a better relationship than the relationship you had. You'll never have a better job than the job you had. Because see, what the past time does is it makes you relive history. But the beautiful thing that past time doesn't tell you about history is the pain that you have to repeat, is the suffering that you have to repeat, the many life lessons that you have to repeat. Because see, history doesn't come without a story. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, you can change it from his to her and say her story or his story for history. So you understand what I mean? But there is nothing in your past that you went through that didn't teach you something, that didn't cause you to shed a tear, that didn't cause you to get angry, that didn't cause you to walk away from something, that didn't cause you to question the very essence of who you are. And let me just get real. There are things in your story that caused you to question whether or not God was even alive. But I wonder, even after knowing all of that about time and being accountable and knowing that this is the measured action of a process, and it keeps going. I wonder, after knowing all of that, worthy women, why we still believe the past is the best place to live. I honestly keep asking myself, Corey, there's nothing back there for you. There's a lot of insecurity. There's a lot of disbelief. There's a lot of questioning, but you still think that's better than present time? You still think it's better than growth? You still think it's better than maturity? You still think it's better than accountability? And this, worthy women, is the final definition of past. It says one that is kept secret. Now, for a few minutes, I want to talk about secrets because I believe that is exactly why my assignment this month is about time, because there are secrets in each of our lives that some people do not know. And actually, the only people that know about them are you and God, because nobody else knows. Because we would never repeat a secret that could destroy us. We would never repeat a secret that would embarrass us. We would never repeat a secret that has shamed me to living in my past and not in my present. See, I'm not going to talk about you because, see, I don't want anyone to think that I won't talk about secrets in my own life, because see, what happens is that we're good at keeping secrets, except when it benefits me to destroy you so I don't get destroyed. See, I don't know. I don't really know if anybody would be bold enough to say, but I am, because I live that life. I'm bold enough to say there are things I know about people that if I said it, it would destroy them. And the reason why I know it is because at that particular past time in my life, it was my mission to make sure I learned something about her story. Do you understand what I'm saying? To make sure that if she ever crossed me again, I would win the battle and then the war. But I wonder if there are some secrets about me that people know that I don't know. I wonder if there's somebody out there just like me saying, I wish Corey would say something about that, because I'll say this. I wonder if there are people out there that would just be like, girl, I'm going to say this about you just because I don't like you. Because, you know, sometimes people lie. I mean, I don't know if you've ever lied on somebody. I don't know if you've ever said anything cross about somebody. I don't really know if you've said something to get somebody in trouble because you just didn't like them. I told a girl yesterday at work, I said, let me tell you something. I don't care about you and I don't care about any of this process. Everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian. I said, so here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't leave that there because it's not safe, and do whatever you want. So I walked away from her. Worthy women, I'm going to tell you that there are secrets that would change your present time. And actually, what would happen if you got free from those secrets is time would stop going by you and you would actually start living. So I asked myself, I said, Corey, well, why is it that you recognize Thank you, Jesus. You recognize that secrets have killed so many people. Secrets have stopped so many women from living. Y'all, I bet you right now you can name 5 people that you know something about that it has stunted them from living. Oh, no, wait. I don't mean they're not doing anything. I don't mean they're not alive. I mean they're not living. Because there's a difference between being alive and living. Anyway, so I said to myself, one thing is certain is that I can't go back in time, which is true. And then I said, there's that song, I think Cher sings it. She says, if I could turn back time. And I thought to myself, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I said, but why is it so popular that people say, if I knew then what I know now? I'm like, would you still be doing the same stuff you're doing right now? I probably would. I mean, I feel like if I go back to my 16 or 27-year-old self with all the stuff I've learned now at 43, I'm like, dude, at 27, I would have been lethal. But then I said to myself, would I have listened to myself if I would have come from her story and said to me, Karee, hey, you should probably check your attitude about this. You should also listen a little bit more when it comes to this. Okay, I know you're not 100% sure about these choices, but this is what you need to do. I said to myself, would I actually listen? And then I said, no. Because see, the real truth is that I would prefer to keep certain struggles a secret. I don't want anyone to know that I'm scared of chickens, and I'm just using that as a random example. But to be real, I don't really want people to know that I'm afraid of failure. I don't want people to know that I'm very conscious about parenting. I really don't want people to know that even though I love talking, and even though I'll do it all the time, and even though I know it is my assignment, there are times I don't want to say a word. See, because secrets keep you from living in the present. Secrets keep you in past time. Secrets keep you paralyzed. So I said to myself, if there are any life lessons that I've learned, what are they? And how do these life lessons help me get free from these secrets that keep me in the past, and I am wasting the time that I have in the present? And I said, well, if the past is over and done and finished, can I learn from it? And I said, well, I guess it depends, because here's how we do. If the past that I'm living in works in my favor, I have no desire to live in the present. But if the past that I live in is unfavorable to me, like it was the worst season of my life, my car got repossessed, I didn't have anywhere to live, I lost the baby, I lost the relationship, I lost my job. See, here's what's crazy about time. It continues to go by, right? But I can choose where I live in it. I can live every day, get up and go to work, do what I'm supposed to do, come home, cook, clean up, make dinner, keep going, but still live at the funeral home when my parents died. I can get up every day and go to work and do exactly what I'm supposed to do and be a good mom, and then come home and still live at the altar when I felt God had left me. I can get up every day and encourage people and tell them they're going to make it and everything's going to be okay, but I still live in the divorce court. I can get up every single day and do exactly what I'm supposed to do, but I really live in depression. I have learned that past time doesn't mean that time stands still, because that's what I used to think. I was like, well, if it's in the past, it's over, right? That time is over. It stood still in that moment. I learned, worthy women, that past time never stood still. When all hell broke loose, time still kept going. Y'all, Here I am thinking that I'm gaining time back because I'm living in a state of fear or rejection or anxiety or frustration or loneliness or just flat out sick of living. And I'm thinking because I'm living there in my head that the time that I am getting back from that, I'll be able to use in the present moment. But I learned, worthy women, that every moment, every ounce of time, let me tell you, 1,440 minutes that I live in time in the past is not doing anything but bringing me closer to the end. See, because when I live in a moment that was meant to destroy me, I am saying to the destruction, you are now welcome. When I live in a place of bitterness, I am now saying to bitterness, you are now welcome in my present. When I live in a place of frustration, I am now saying to frustration, you are welcome in my present. And I am telling you, worthy women, that I have learned one thing. The past is our fear, it is our foe, and it is our fight. And I'm going to use me because I'm good at that. Y'all, I used to have a problem with anger. I'm better with it now. I'm not as angry as I once was. I mean, I like to think I'm better. I don't know. Pray for me in that area. But I'm going to tell you how that past time affected my present for a long, long time. Okay. So a foe is an enemy in a war that you're fighting, right? One who was where you have personal enmity. That means I don't like you at all. I hate you. Okay. If I have enmity against you, that means I literally despise you being alive. So past time for me being angry was a foe in my life. Like I was literally in a war with everyone. I was angry at everyone and everything, and everywhere I went, it was a battle. Okay. Okay. I love Texas Roadhouse. We went to eat there. Okay. This is not a true story. I've never had bad service there. Never. Anyway, this one time I went with my sister, my mom, Gianna. I think Anna J was born. I'm not sure. Like it's in my brain, but I'm not sure. I think she was born. Anyway, so we went and we had this server and I did not like her. Okay. I'm just going to tell you straight. I did not like her. But can I tell you, worthy women, that here's the problem with past time when it's a foe. Everyone you meet is the enemy. Because see, when you live in the past, the only assignment it has is to keep you in the past. It never wants you to break free, to come live in the present. It wants you to find a problem with every single person you meet. And I was queen of that. Anyway, so the girl was whack. Okay, I'm gonna just cut to the chase. She was whack. She came to our table. She took a long time, and then she was trying to like cut me off while I was ordering. That's a no. I said I want to speak to the manager. Okay, my sister was mortified. My mom was mortified. I didn't care because, see, when you live in past time and you don't think about present time, you don't even think about time in your life, you are governed by the place in your life in the past that wounded you. And that wound is killing you every single time you refer to it. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to listen to this 12 times because I need to slap myself. Anyway, so I'm wounded because of what someone else did. I thought they were wrong. They shouldn't have done it. And I am wounded because of my own personal heartbreak. But can I tell you, worthy women, I was pissed off at the girl at Texas Roadhouse, and she had nothing to do what was really holding me back in my own story. I was angry. All right. So anyway, they bring out the manager and I lit him up. Okay, I lit them up. I don't even know why I lit them up. Long story short, we got our food for free. But let me tell you what happened when we got outside. My mom said, I am tired of going places with you, and you are acting like this. Now, if y'all know my sister, she's very few words in real life. She really is. And she just stood there looking like, girl, you whack, right? I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling really bad right now. I'm feeling really bad. My mom said, I'm not going to go out with you anymore until you learn how to get your anger under control. She said, this is ridiculous. You are making a scene everywhere we go. Okay, guess what I did? Hello, I got angry. You guys, when you live in the past, the only thing it cares about, whether it's a foe, a fear, or a fight, it wants to win the war. And the spoils of the war is your present life. Y'all, oh my God, it is so real to me. I spent 3 years being angry at someone that didn't give a crap about what they had done. I literally hated my life. I hated everybody in it. And it wasn't because I didn't have the opportunity to make a different choice, to write a different her story. It was because I wanted them to acknowledge the hurt. But isn't it something? And this is what I learned. The only person who's struggling when I was angry was me. The only person sick because I was angry was me. The only person not experiencing grace and joy and peace in my relationships was me, because I would rather allow the past time to become an enemy, because I thought that was easier instead of surrendering to the hurt. Oh God. Woo! I thought it was easier to fight and to be angry and to be mad and to be hatred toward everyone than to surrender to the hurt. Worthy women, I wonder if there's any area in your life tonight that you need to surrender to the hurt. Does that mean you're weak? Does that mean you haven't grown? Does that mean you're not going to be who the Lord called you to be? No, I'm telling you right now, the only way to get to be where you were supposed to be is to surrender to the place that hurt you. I don't know what it is. It's not my business. But I am telling you that I wasted 3 years of present life being angry about someone who didn't even know. So then it says that the past is our fear, our foe, and our fight. So fear, you know, in the church we have this saying, and I really hate it: false evidence appearing real. Let me tell you something right now. Fear is a real thing. That's why God says many, many times in the Bible, fear not. So if you are fearful, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have fear. It just means you shouldn't be, and we talked about this, be fear-filled. Okay, y'all remember that? Okay, I think it was in October, so you got to go back and watch that. So if you have fear about coming out of the past, do you know what that's an indication of? You need to hurry up and come out of it. Because see, fear will paralyze you from moving forward. Y'all, you can't become who you're supposed to be if you say, well, I'm just, I'm fearful about that. I'm really fearful about trusting people. I'm fearful about new situations. I'm fearful about new environments. Okay, first of all, let me just translate that for you. You don't want to do anything that challenges you. You don't want to do anything where you have to become vulnerable to the process, where you have to make a decision that I am not in 1 year going to be stuck in this same place again. See, the fear that stops people from going forward is, well, what am I going to do if I'm not this anymore? What am I going to be, Carrie, if you're not angry? Carrie, let me tell you what you're going to be. Free, girl. You're going to be F-R-E-E. You're going to be free. And I thought to myself, well, why don't I want that? Y'all, we don't want that because it's funner. I know that's not a word. It's more fun to be angry. How is that even possible? God in heaven, how is it possible that we would rather be depressed and not free? How is it possible that we would rather be hateful instead of loving? How is it possible that we would rather hold a grudge instead of asking for forgiveness? How is it possible that we would rather give hate instead of grace. And I'm not talking about what y'all do. I'm talking about what I do, because when I want people to do it to me, I want grace. I want mercy. I want forgiveness, but I'm not giving that to you because I would rather live in the past, because then I don't have to acknowledge that there is an enemy, that there is fear, and finally, that there is a fight of a will to determine who I'm going to be. Okay, but you might say, Corey, you don't understand. Girl, the people in my family, they are on my effing nerves. I don't like how they act. They act crazy. They get on my nerves. People just do this and this and this and this. Girl, the people at my job and blah, blah, blah. Listen, I can relate to all of that. I feel you on that on many levels. But worthy women, the fight that I'm talking about is not with other people. The fight I'm talking about is within. Who am I yielding to when I'm choosing to live in past time and not live in present time? Who am I saying to, I would rather hate you than get over it? I wonder, excuse me, if who I'm really upset with is not God. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm really talking to myself right now. And I've had this conversation with myself several times. I wonder if who I'm really upset with is me. I wonder if every time my birthday rolls around and I think about all the things I really haven't accomplished, or the things I hoped I would have accomplished by now, I wonder if the person who I really don't want to forgive is me. I wonder if the person that I'm really upset with is me. I wonder if I could start forgiving myself. I wonder if I could actually start loving myself. I wonder if I would give myself grace. Would I start living presently? Would I start understanding that the time I have right now is exactly the time I need to make my story, her story, exactly what it's supposed to be? I wonder if I took my eyes off of everybody else. I wonder if I took my eyes off of all of these circumstances. I even wonder if I decided to take my eyes off of what I thought I should have been and accept me for exactly where I am. And thank God for his grace, and thank God for his mercy when it was shining, when it was raining, when it was light, and most importantly, when it was dark. I wonder if I started doing that, would time begin to change? Worthy women, I'm going to tell you the answer is absolutely 100% unequivocally yes. See, the past is not something to be glorified or magnified or talked about 40 years. The past is exactly what it is. A time of events that happened before the present moment. Yes, those times did shape you. Yes, they did. We're not in denial of that. But I am no longer giving the power to that foe, that fear, or that fight. Because the present time is all I have. I wonder what you're doing with that. Worthy women, it's been real tonight. You have no idea just how real it is for me, because I am currently in a place where I am deciding that I am no longer going to let what I thought I should have been, where I thought I should be living, what income I thought I should be making, determine whether or not I believe my time is not wasted. There is nothing in my story, there is nothing in your story that is wasted. The only way for you to look back a year from this day and say, I wasted time, or this was in the past, or this or that, is to recognize that you didn't decide to live in the present. I'm talking about time this month, worthy women, and we better start taking care of it. The past is over. Leave it there. I'll see you next week.